It's a beautiful day for baseball, and live from Miller Park in Milwaukee, Sportsnet LA presents the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers in the final game of this three-game series. Hi, good everybody. Charlie Steiner along with Oral Hershiser and Nomar Garciaparra. Some news since we talked to you last. Number one, Kevin Correa has been acquired from the Minnesota Twins for a player to be named later. Correa not with the club. He will be joining the Dodgers in Atlanta tomorrow, primarily to serve as a swingman, the role that had been vacated by the injury to Paul Maholm. As expected, Hanley Ramirez has gone on the disabled list, the natural selection. Darwin Barney has been called up to replace at least Hanley Ramirez on the roster. But today, first things first, it's going to be Clayton Kershaw, and he has been the first among many at 13-2, the highest winning percentage and the best strikeout to walk ratio in the game.
Yeah, he's absolutely been fantastic, and it's time, even in during the season, to take a moment and look back at what he has done and what he's trying to accomplish. He leads the major leagues now with ERA. That would be the fourth consecutive year. That would be historic and the first time ever. The 10-0 personal win streak is on the line today. The career no-hitter, of course, what he done, and of course the scoreless streak. And this all started with a W in Australia and then a stint on the DL. Now going into his 19th start, we've talked so much about the slider and how it has really affected him this year in a big, big way. But the key for me has been his aggressiveness in the strike zone, not walking people, striking people out. He has given up more runs, 26, than he has walks at 17. Absolutely amazing.
Here in Milwaukee, the Dodgers have lost the first two of the series, outscored 13-4. But don't pin the rap on Adrian Gonzalez.
Well, Adrian Gonzalez, when you look at his batting average, it's a little bit down to his standards, but he still is driving in runs. And what I've noticed since the All-Star break has really been the mechanics of his swing. Able to really turn on ball up in the zone. He had a home run to right field driving the ball. And with that comes the confidence to just trust your hands. Even balls up and away now since the All-Star break, he's able to just flip them and trust them and drive it the opposite way. There's really no shift anymore on Adrian Gonzalez. You put it down the middle, he's going to drive it.
Clayton Kershaw in search of his 14th win of the year. Young right-hander Jimmy Nelson going for Milwaukee. We're going to take a break, come back with lineups in first pitch. The Dodgers and the Brewers are on deck.
Pristine Sunday afternoon. To Dodger baseball, an absolutely pristine Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee as fans make their way inside Miller Park for the final game of a 3-game set between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Miller Park. I'm Alana Rizzo. You heard Charlie Steiner, Nomar Garcia-Parra, and Orel Hershiser talk a little bit earlier about all-star shortstop Hanley Ramirez being placed on the 15-day DL with an oblique strain on his right side. The corresponding move, the Dodgers have recalled utility infielder Darwin Barney to join the club, and this is what the Dodgers are getting in Barney. 5 years with the Cubs, 542 big league games, a .244 average. He's known, though, for his glove. A 2012 Gold Glove winner at second base. He's played a lot of positions in the infield, primarily at second base and at shortstop. Doesn't feel that comfortable at third base. Don Mattingly saying earlier today he figures in to be a platoon player at second and at short. Darwin Barney got about an hour worth of sleep, came in from Las Vegas on a red-eye flight, landed here about 7:30 in the morning, was at the park before 9 a.m. He is available to play today off of the bench. Clayton Kershaw on the hill for the Los Angeles Dodgers, already a no-hitter on his resume in 2014, looking to stop the bleeding as the Dodgers look to avoid the sweep to the Brewers. After the break, Charlie Steiner, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Orel Hershiser on the call. We'll be right back.
This Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee, the Dodgers and Brewers wrapping up this 3-game series. The Dodgers, even though they have struggled, having been outscored 14-3 in the first 2 games of this set, still have the best record in the National League at 66-52. The winner of today's game will be the team with the best record in the National League, the Brewers at 65-52. Here's a lineup Don Mattingly has put together, and D. Gordon has just been a house of fire on top of the lineup. He leads the league in stolen bases and triples. Crawford batting second today. Gonzalez has had a terrific time of it in Milwaukee throughout his career, hitting nearly 400 here. Kemp, Ethier, and Uribe, A.J. Ellis, and Miguel Rojas, Clayton Kershaw, the bottom three. They are facing 25-year-old Jimmy Nelson, making his sixth start. He's a big fella, about 6'5" and 240 pounds.
Yeah, and he comes at you with a fastball, slider, changeup, and that fastball hovers around the mid-90s with a natural tail and a touch of a sink to it. And he also throws that fastball over 70% of the time, so be ready for it. And when you get behind, he likes to put you away with his slider.
Like last night, you've got to be ready to hit the fastball, and that's something the Dodgers struggled with throughout the game, and they've got to get this offense on a roll.
Dodgers held to just 1 run and 4 hits last night. 3 runs and 9 hits when they were outscored 9-3 on Friday night. After the game today, the Dodgers will fly to Atlanta, where it's been raining like crazy, and there is rain in the forecast down there today, and temperatures in the mid-90s with humidity to match. So they're going to enjoy this fall-like Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee. You're looking at the newest Dodger. Darwin Barty got here just this morning. D. Gordon leading it off, and the infield is pinched in at the corners as normally the case. Nelson misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. D has 129 base hits, ranks 5th in the National League with those 129 base hits. Crawford on deck. Gordon takes a strike, and it's 1-1. That got up there in a hurry at 95.
Yeah, with the velocity like that and the way D. Gordon's approach, you got the third baseman in. That's a prime candidate for hitting that ball down the left field line that D. Gordon has been doing so well this year.
On 1-1, lined into left field, and that's going to be caught by Chris Davis. With the roof open, as you can see, left field and left center emblazoned in sun, the rest of the park in shadow.
Yesterday, early on, Carl Crawford had trouble with a ball hit out there to left field on that same trajectory.
Davis, of course, enjoying home field advantage. Carl Crawford steps in. Been a long year for Crawford, hitting just .234, 4 home runs, 23 runs batted in, and takes a fastball down and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Gonzalez on deck. Nelson, his 6th start of the year. He struck out 27. He's walked 9. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Crawford. The other piece of news above and beyond Hanley Ramirez going on the disabled list. You just saw Darwin Barty, who came up from AAA, acquired from the Cubs last month. 3 balls, no strikes. Is it Kevin Correa was acquired late last night from the Minnesota Twins for the proverbial player to be named later. Correa not with the club. He will greet the Dodgers in Atlanta when they get here or there tonight. Got a strike 3-1. And it's beginning to look like Kevin Correa will in fact get the start tomorrow. And the reason for that is to give all of the starters an extra day. Dan Herron likely to be pushed back a day. Hyun-Jin Ryu likely to be pushed back a day. Then you've got Roberto Hernandez, who is new to the dance. Greinke pitching on Thursday. Now, whether or not Kershaw will be pushed back or not, time will tell. And so it's getting late into this season for the Dodgers. This is their 119th game. And Ryu especially likes that extra day. Crawford lines one, caught by Segura. So the first 2 hitters, Gordon lines to left. Crawford, boy, when you're hitting in bad luck, you hit those, and Segura makes the leaping catch. Ramirez at third, Segura's at short. Ricky Weeks and Mark Reynolds the right side of the Brewer defense. Chris Davis in left field, Carlos Gomez in center, Ryan Braun in right, and Jonathan Lucroy really has turned into one of the game's terrific young catchers. He's 3rd in the National League in hitting, and we saw last night he's got a throwing arm. He was able to gun down D. Gordon. 2 out and nobody on, and Adrian Gonzalez stepping in. Gonzalez in his career here in Milwaukee, a .398 hitter.
He just loves the batter's eye here, the flat black screen out there. He says he picks it up really well.
That's well hit to left, but slicing out of play.
Yeah, he said it reminds him of Chase Field over there in Arizona. He said he has a very similar feel, and he also says that it feels like the ball carries similar to that field as well. So those are 2 ballparks he's had a lot of success in.
1-1 with 2 out, top half of the first. 1-2. Matt Kemp is on deck.
Adrian on an exceptional roll right now, not only hitting for average but hitting for power. Matt Kemp pretty close to that also.
2-2 to Adrian Gonzalez with home runs in each of the last 2 games. Second in the league with 77 RBIs. He's merely 7 for his last 11. But the Dodgers need the rest of the lineup to respond. Outscored 13-4 in the first 2 games of this set. Down goes Gonzalez. So Jimmy Nelson retires. The Dodgers in order. Clayton Kershaw getting ready for his 19th start of the year in search of his 14th win. Quarter, 14 pitches, 8 strikes, although Gordon and Crawford hit the ball solidly. Ron Renneke using a platoon with 3 of his starters. Take a look at the lineup that Renneke's put together. Gomez in center. Lou Croy is the catcher. Ryan Braun in right. Aramis Ramirez has an 11-game hitting streak. Chris Davis in left. He's been splitting time out there with Gerardo Parra. Ricky Weeks dividing time with Scooter Gennett at second base. Mark Reynolds splitting time with Lyle Overbay at first base. Segura and Nelson rounding out the lineup against the incomparable Clayton Kershaw, making his 19th start of the year.
It's time to take inventory on Clayton. He leads baseball in ERA. That would be the 4th ERA title. That'd be unprecedented and historic. 2nd in wins with 13. The longest winning streak in the National League at 10. 1st in winning percentage. 5th in strikeouts. 1st in complete games. 2nd in opponent's batting average. Absolutely amazing year going.
Really second to none. As Chris Gomez takes a ball high, 1 ball, no strikes. Gomez a solid year, 18 home runs, 59 runs batted in. And it's 1-1. There are so many great notes and stats about Kershaw. Little high, and it's 2-1. This one is especially eye-popping. Kershaw leads the National League with 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. Has the lowest walk ratio, 1.19 walks for every 9. As Gomez fouls it back. Now to put that into some kind of historical context. No pitcher in National League history has ever finished the season with the highest strikeout ratio and the lowest walk ratio in the same year. Nobody, ever. But there was one guy in the American League. Here's the 2-2. Outside 3-2. That was Walter Johnson, the big trade, only 101 years ago. Did it in 1913. Highest strikeout ratio, lowest walk ratio in the same year. On 3-2, wouldn't you know it, he walks it. The walk given up by Kershaw, just the 18th this year in 128 innings.
Carlos Gomez got to see a lot of pitches too, which helps the second hitter, Jonathan LaCroix. Slider, the curveball, and the fastball. Got to see all three.
Now here's LaCroix, and what a story he has been. He's the third leading hitter in the National League with that .312 average. But against Kershaw in his career, 0 for 10. Braun on deck, Ramirez to follow.
Oh, as you mentioned, LaCroix is having an incredible year. Not many people would know that. You ask, well, who started the All-Star game at catching this year for the National League? It's Jonathan LaCroix, because Yadier Molina ended up getting hurt, and LaCroix definitely having an All-Star type season and carrying it over in the second half.
Dozen home runs. He's got 38 doubles. That ranks second in the league. Out of Louisiana. No balls and 2 strikes. There's been talk, because he's become such a good hitter, about perhaps down the road a Joe Mauer move from behind the plate to first base. LaCroix wants no part of it. He said, I'm just now beginning to master the skills behind the plate. I enjoy catching, even though the bumps and bruises have come along. And he has evolved into one of the game's elite. Oh, very close play at first base. One of the elite catchers in the game.
It seems like all those catchers that are behind the plate and are good hitters, managers and the general managers want to move them, and they all seem to go kicking and screaming when they finally are forced to go there.
0-2 to LaCroix. There goes Gomez, swung on and missed, strike 3, but dropped by A.J. Ellis. Gomez steals his 25th base of the year.
Well, you were mentioning about these catchers not wanting to leave, kicking and screaming because they don't want to get back there. You saw that pitch down. Ellis really just was trying to just keep it in front, as you're supposed to do as a catcher. But the punishment that catchers take, you have to love it. I mean, so that's why if they're telling you to leave, you're trying to move them out of someplace they love.
But obviously the wear and tear on the legs of a catcher.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a factor. And I'll tell you, if you have a guy like Jonathan LaCroix, you have a platoon situation right now at first base. The versatility for years to come, or you can make your decisions as an organization based on that.
What the general managers are trying to avoid is the unfortunate situation of that foul tip all of a sudden taking and not only lose your catcher, but you lose the offense. So you're playing with that risk all the time when you have one of your best offensive players behind the plate. It was talked about with Mike Piazza for so long.
Braun at 283. Carlos Gomez, the walk and the stolen base, his 25th stolen base of the year. Obviously, Renicky knows full well who's on the hill today and runs likely to become a premium. As try to manufacture one here in the first. Drilled into left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Mission accomplished. Gomez comes around to score on the RBI single by Ryan Braun, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead.
Well, we've seen in this series those Brewers being aggressive up at the plate, and why not, especially against Clayton Kershaw. You don't want to get behind on a guy of a type of pitcher of his stature. So Ryan Braun taking advantage, gets one up in the zone and crushes it to left field. And I'll tell you also the fact that Gomez, this threat of stealing out there, kind of takes the concentration of the pitcher just a little bit, and enough to kind of miss his spot there so Ryan Braun can get that hit.
So the leadoff walk bites Kershaw and the Dodgers, and Aramis Ramirez steps into the plate, and Ramirez at 301 is riding an 11-game hit streak. It seems like he's been hitting the ball solidly in every at-bat against the Dodgers in the series. Curve for a strike.
A nice breaking ball there by Clayton Kershaw, and sees how aggressive this Brewer lineup is being in breaking out public enemy #1 early in this game because of that aggressiveness.
Nothing in 2, and a toss to first base. Braun capable of stealing. He's gotten 10 out of 14 this year. And Kershaw now has one of the great moves to first base. Of course, it was never much of an issue for Kershaw when he came up, because in high school and minor league level he never had base runners to deal with. And there's a fly ball to left field. A couple of steps in for Crawford, and then he had a sprint back to make the catch. 2 gone. Defensively behind Clayton Kershaw on this sunny Sunday afternoon, Crawford, Ethier, and Kemp. Puig has a day off. Uribe, Rojas, Gordon, and Gonzalez in the infield, and A.J. Ellis is behind the plate. So Yasiel Puig showing some signs of fatigue, and Kershaw now trying to keep his end of the bargain for the Dodgers. Milwaukee with the early lead. Milwaukee, when they score first this year, 47-18. Grounded to short, and Rojas will flip it to Gordon, and that'll end the inning. A leadoff walk, a stolen base, an RBI single for Braun, and the Brewers have struck first against Clayton Kershaw. As an RBI single for Braun, we go to the second, and each week go beyond the dugout and into the Dodger clubhouse. Join host Alana Rizzo as she goes one-on-one with Don Mattingly to get the inside scoop from the Diamond. Don't miss Dodgers clubhouse tomorrow at 8 on Sportsnet LA. So Mattingly's club trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. So far in the month of August, 4 up and 5 down. And it's been really, since the All-Star break, a roller coaster for the Dodgers. They've lost series in Pittsburgh and St. Louis. They swept the Giants and the Braves, lost 2 of 3 to the Cubs, got routed in Game 1 against the Angels, and then swept the next 3 against Anaheim, and now have lost 2 here in Milwaukee. Will the real Dodgers please stand up?
A lot of ability, but not all the consistency you're looking for.
Kemp with a base hit into center field. Matt Kemp continues his hot hitting. Broke his bat, but more than happy to sacrifice the piece of wood.
Well, that ball coming in, we said, got to be ready for the fastball facing Nelson, and Matt Kemp was ready for it. As I said, it got in on him, in on the hands, because of that natural tail and slight sink that Nelson has on his fastball. But Matt Kemp staying inside the ball and still muscling up strong enough to get that base hit.
And extend his hitting streak to 6 games.
And it was really interesting is when he got on first base as well, Davey Lopes was talking to him. He was talking a little bit about Nelson's move and delivery.
Ethier on the first pitch he sees, pops it into short center. Segura now called off by Gomez. One out, one on. Uribe coming up. Jimmy Nelson turned 25 in June. Big fella, 6'5", 245. He's from Florida. Made 1 start last year with the Brewers, 4 appearances overall. Pitched at the University of Alabama. And now Uribe. Takes a strike. Won at 292 with 83 base hits, 6 home runs, 18 doubles. Dodgers down 1-0. Second inning. 0-2. Uribe just 1 for 11 on the road trip. .95-mile-an-hour fastball crackles into the glove of catcher Jonathan Lucroy.
Nelson not real interested in pitching down in the strike zone so far to Uribe. All 3 pitches have been up and not really correcting himself.
Second strikeout for Nelson.
I don't think he wanted that pitch there, but he got away with it. A hanging slider that is up in Juan's eyes. He just missed it. Watch this pitch right here. You see LaCroix, the target up, but he has to go back and over the middle of the plate to get it. This ball's got slider spin on it, but it actually backs up on him. That's a hard pitch to hit.
That's frustrating as a hitter when you see that, because when you recognize the spin out of the pitcher's hand and you swing where you expect it to break and where it's supposed to break, and you end up swinging underneath it because it has no break at all.
A.J. Ellis just 188. 32 hits, 34 walks, and 10 runs batted in. Rojas on deck. Nothing and 2 to A.J., who has enjoyed being home this weekend. lives in Franklin, Wisconsin. A decent drive from here to his home. But he is a strikeout victim, and Nelson has struck out 3 through 2. No runs and a hit. Kershaw will face Weeks, Reynolds, and Segura in the bottom of the second.
Down 1-0 as Clayton Kershaw takes the hill for the bottom of the second inning. Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in unfamiliar territory. In fact, that was the first inning run that Clayton Kershaw has given up in 2014. We are running out of adjectives to describe how absolutely impressive Clayton Kershaw has been this season. You can take a look at where he was in June, entering June. A 3-2 record since June 1st, though. 10-0. Look at the ERA, 1.16 compared to over 3.5 in June. The strikeout to walk ratio, absolutely tremendous. Over 11 strikeouts per walk issued, and the opponent averaged just 174. He is ridiculous, guys.
And Ricky Weeks fouls it into the dirt, and it's 0-1. It'll be Weeks and Reynolds and Segura against Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw entered the game with an ERA of 1.82. After giving up that first inning run into short right field, Kemp is there. Kemp's ERA ballooned all the way up to 1.88.
Matt Kemp getting a laugh over eventually not seeing that ball off the bat and getting a little help from D. Gordon.
Well, in right field, Kemp is playing under the roof. From right center to left with the roof open. The other outfielders have a different view of things. Mark Reynolds fouls it back.
I wonder why they only have it partially closed. I wonder what they're determined, maybe because of those shadows, saying, all right, we'll just try to minimize them, or
they try and put the batter's eye out of the sunlight, right, but after that they leave it open.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe they're thinking, hey, we're facing Clayton Kershaw and want our hitters to try to see it as best they can.
Yep.
So here's Mark Reynolds, who strikes out about as much as anybody in the game, and Clayton Kershaw, who strikes out more people than anybody in the game. In the left, Crawford.
There are local people here on our crew that are working for us and done such a great job since we've been here in Milwaukee have told us that that's exactly why the roof is partially closed, that the players have asked on day games. It's a beautiful day and management would love to have the roof open for the fans, but it is so hard to see with the glare on that center field hitter's eye that the safety and the visuals for the hitters comes into play, and they close it to keep that in the shade.
Gene Segura, the former Angel. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. Segura was traded for Zach Greinke when Greinke went from Milwaukee to Anaheim. Up the middle, and Gordon 2 steps to his right makes it easy. 5 in a row retired by Kershaw. Will go to the 3rd. Milwaukee 1-0. For the Dodgers as we head to the 3rd. Come on out to Dodger Stadium 2 weeks from today when Matt Kemp and the Dodgers host David Wright and the Mets at 1:10. It's Sunday, August 24th, and the first 40,000 fans in attendance will take home a Matt Kemp figurine presented by New Era. For tickets and more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Well, so far it's been a miserable weekend at Bernie's for the Dodgers. Bernie Brewer has been working a bit. Couple of home runs for the Brewers last night and one on Friday night. And Mattingly's crew is down 1-0 as we go to the 3rd. So Miguel Rojas stepping in, with Hanley Ramirez on the disabled list 15 days. Rojas figures to be starting most if every game. Darwin Barney just called up with Ramirez going on the DL, will serve as the understudy. Rojas grounds it foul, and it's 0-1. But Miguel's hitting but .202, 19 hits in 94 at bats. The newest Dodger, Darwin Barney, took a red eye from Albuquerque. I don't imagine there are a lot of direct flights between Albuquerque and Milwaukee.
It doesn't sound like the fast track. Darwin Barney was an Oregon Beaver that won back-to-back national championships, College World Series.
Good looking bunt, and Rojas beats it out with Reynolds coming in and Nelson going over. Ricky Weeks had no play at second. Rojas with a bunt base hit to lead off the third.
Yeah, it was an excellent placement by Miguel Rojas, pushing that ball, putting it in a spot where you have to force both the first baseman and the pitcher to go after that ball. And I'll tell you, that could be a huge weapon in Rojas' arsenal, especially batting coming in 202. We know he's known for his glove, but when you do that and people are scouting and recognizing, hey, he's not afraid to put the ball, bunt the ball for a base hit. If they bring the infield in, it might open up some more holes for him when he is swinging the bat.
Kershaw has 4 sacrifice bunts on the year and nearly gets hit on the foot. In fact, he gets hit on the foot.
It's very well played by Clayton either way. It was close. Let's take a look. Yep, right on the top of his left foot.
So the Dodgers have a rally going here in the third inning.
D. Gordon, his first at bat, had a very good at bat, lined sharply to left field, worked the count, looked very good and comfortable in the box against Nelson.
At left field, the Sun Field here in Milwaukee. Gordon attempts to bunt and fouls it into the dirt.
This is a situation where Clayton Kershaw needs to get a good jump if D. Gordon continues to try and bunt at first base, because I could see Milwaukee deciding that Rojas, the better base runner, getting a better jump at second, will get to third, but they might think about, on a short bunt, going to second.
And you know, right now that's where they're taking a break. You're getting a sign over there from their third baseman, Aramis Ramirez, letting the infielders know what possibly just that say, hey, we'll play it regular, but let's look to second.
D. Gordon can beat it out for a hit to first, so Kershaw is the worst runner of the three.
0-2 to D. Gordon. Gordon has 129 hits on the season, 5th most in the National League. 39 of the 129 infield hits. 0-2, 1-0, top of the third. To short. They will go the short way, and a heads-up play by Segura. Getting Rojas. Kershaw goes to second, and now Gordon is at first.
Good communication on the infield by the Brewers right here. Ramirez retreating to third base on a ball that's hit to his left. He doesn't give ground once he knows Segura's coming his way. And they get the out. D. Gordon would have been impossible to double up. Kershaw with a little bit of a longer lead because there was a man on second.
So Crawford, who was robbed of a base hit when he lined to the shortstop, Segura made a leaping catch in his first at bat. Lines one into right field for a base hit. Kershaw will be held at third. The runners had to hold, not sure whether or not Braun could make the play. And so now the Dodgers have the bases loaded with one out, and that'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez.
And that ball was hit really well by Carl Crawford. He went the other way in his first at bat and then is able to turn on that fastball. We've mentioned that now it looks like the Dodger batters are ready for that fastball. It didn't seem that way yesterday when they were facing Mike Fiers, but here versus Nelson, they're getting the bat head out of there quickly, getting it through the zone and squaring it up. And like you said, Clayton Kershaw couldn't score on that. He had to freeze to make sure that ball hit the ground.
Now the bases are loaded, and the Dodgers' hottest hitter of late, Gonzalez, with a fly ball to center field. Drifting on back is Gomez. Tagging and scoring is Kershaw. The rest of the runners have to stay put. Gordon retreats to second. Crawford to first. A sac fly for Gonzalez. His 78th run batted in of the year. And we are tied at 1.
That's what I love about Adrian Gonzalez. We talked about how well he has been swinging the bat, especially the second half, and he is just looking for a pitch that he knows he can handle and get in the air. His last at bat, he struck out on a fastball from Nelson. So he's recognizing I have a man in scoring position over there at third base. I'm looking for a ball up in the zone. It's nothing down, so I don't roll over this ball. And he gets that fastball he can handle and drives it to center.
And so Gonzalez now with 78 runs batted in has tied Giancarlo Stanton for the National League lead. Kemp with a single to left in his first at bat. Gordon is at second and Crawford at first. 1-1 tie, 2 out in the third.
Matt took his good sweet time to get up to the batter's box for this at bat, with Clayton Kershaw tagging from third and running home, giving him plenty of time to get back to the bench, towel off, get a sip of water before he even starts this at bat.
Kemp, who singled to left in his first at bat, has extended his hitting streak to 6 games.
Right now with Matt Kemp, like he's been swinging the bat so well, another opportunity. Now you're in a hitter's count, and with a guy who's thrown this many fastballs, you can pretty much guess that here comes a fastball. I mean, be ready and make sure it's in the zone that you know you can handle and really drive. You don't have to swing at it.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 out. Matt Kemp now with 14 home runs, 51 runs batted in.
Looked like one of those swings where he almost jammed himself.
Yeah, that was a bit like that was one that you're like, all right, that's what you
cover the fastball away, but it leaked on the inner half, and he just approached it like it was down there. This is that run and tail you've been talking about, Nomar. He got his weight shift and his approach going to where the ball originated, but it tailed in and jammed him.
Kemp at 284 on the year, 250 with runners in scoring position. Look at the play by Weeks. Nearly ate him up. Instead, he spits out Matt Kemp. That saves a run. Kemp hit it right on the button. Has nothing to show for his efforts. But the Dodgers come up with a run. And 2 base hits. And robbery committed by Ricky Weeks. 1-1. We go to the bottom of the third.
Are all tied up at 1 apiece as we make our way to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Clayton Kershaw has been spectacular, and there's a new pitcher to add to the Dodgers arsenal. The Dodgers acquired right-handed pitcher Kevin Correa from the Minnesota Twins in exchange for cash considerations or a player to be named later. Now Correa already on the way to Atlanta. Not official yet, as he is not officially on the roster. Look for him, though, guys, to make a spot start tomorrow for the Dodgers, as they're looking to give the regular starters an extra day of rest.
And nobody will be happier about that than Hyun-Jin Ryu, who excels when he gets that extra day. Jimmy Nelson, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, you got to give the Dodgers, Ned Colletti and the front office kudos, and I mean, they were able quickly to address the injury with Josh Beckett and also the injury to Paul Maholm, who, those guys were critical for this Dodgers pitching staff and also the success the Dodgers have had to this point.
2-1 to Nelson. Into the right field corner, and it rolls all the way into the corner, and Nelson has a leadoff double in the bottom of the 3rd. That's his first extra base hit.
It's surprising they were so far off the line at first base. He shoots this by Adrian Gonzalez with Clayton Kershaw's ability. A right-handed pitcher hitting off of him. Adrian really was playing pretty straight up at first base, giving him a little bit of room down there the right field line.
So the Dodgers, who just tied the score in the top half of the 3rd inning, and Kershaw certainly wants to hold serve in the bottom half. Carlos Gomez walked to begin the game and stole a base, would come around to score on a Braun RBI single. Gomez has to jump rope out of the way.
A little bit of extra effort on that pitch from Clayton Kershaw, throwing this down and in to Gomez, giving up the double to the pitcher. They're looking to save that run at second.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Was that a swing like he was trying to go the other way?
Just barely. He was just trying to hit a single.
Yeah, you know with certain guys going to lineup, and Gomez is one of them, that he's not thinking about going the other way in this situation. He's trying to hit a home run, trying to pull it, whatever he's giving him, he's trying to drive it. And you can also do that when you have guys like Lucroy and Braun who can do the same thing hitting behind you.
This is a lineup of free swingers, and this is a lineup of big swingers today. Gomez, Braun, Ramirez, Davis, Weeks, Reynolds, all these guys are really going for the downs.
The Brewers are second in the National League with 507 runs scored, and second with 116 home runs. So they'll flex their muscles. 2-2.
Clayton right now really grinding on a pitch to try and put him away. He does not want an out to the right side and let Nelson move up to 3rd with less than 2 outs. He would love to have Gomez swing and miss at one of the next few pitches.
1 hop to short. Rojas has Nelson out to dry. Jimmy Nelson apparently not used to being on base very often.
Well, definitely a base running mistake there by Nelson. Great awareness by Rojas to see him in front of him, that he was going over there trying to get to 3rd, knowing that he has an easy play to get him over there at 3rd. I mean, as a base runner, if you're you're taught that ball is hit to the right of me, I'm supposed to freeze. I'm not supposed to go anywhere. It's either at me or to my left if I'm looking to advance. And before that, you have to be aware of where the shortstop is playing. And Nelson wasn't aware of any of those things.
About halfway between 2nd and 3rd, Nelson is thinking to himself, can we go home now? Into left field and deep. Back goes Crawford. He looks up, and it is a foul ball. Lucroy missing his 13th home run of the year, and not by much.
We've talked about the Dodgers need to be ready to hit. Well, you need to be ready to pitch against this Brewer lineup because they are hacking the moment they step in the box. That ball just fouled by a good 15 feet.
Kershaw's given up 6 home runs on the year. Lucroy, the second leading hitter in the National League. Braun on deck. Kershaw steps off the rubber.
Gomez has distracted Clayton. I don't think it's an excuse for the hit and the RBI he gave up to Braun, but that was a first pitch fastball that was elevated when Gomez was jumping around second. Here over at first, causing some attention.
Well, they've got him picked off now. So a couple of base running mistakes for the Brewers here in the second inning, helping the Dodgers. Here's 2 out. Kershaw's 3rd pickoff of the year.
And really not his most exceptional move. Gomez, the first time he stole second, went on first move, and it looks like that's what he was attempting to do there to Clayton. The Dodgers taking an extra throw to get him out, but they record the out.
And now 2 out and nobody on. 0-1 to Lucroy, and it's 0-2.
Was that a 1-3 to 4 to 3 to 6?
1-3 to 4 to 3 to 6. Yes.
Okay.
I wrote it. Pickoff caught stealing.
Shorthand.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Outside 1-2.
With the way these right-handed hitters are attacking Clayton and really being aggressive against the fastball and the slider down and in, you see right there they attempted to go away. A.J. Ellis looking for the fastball away. That's something they did very well against the Angels in the last outing, where the Angels were attacking him early in the count and on the inner half.
Into right center. Kemp's got a long way to go, and he'll track it down a step in front of the warning track. Well hit by Lucroy. Narrowly missed hitting a home run. Instead he flies to deep right. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We'll go to the 4th. Ethier, Uribe, and Ellis coming up. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import, and by Subway. Try this month's $6 featured footlong, the barbecue oven roasted chicken melt. Subway, eat fresh. A third of the way through the ball game on this Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 2 hits for the Brewers. No errors for either side. Mattingly's club trying to leave town with a win. The Brewers, of course, will be in Los Angeles next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so it is conceivable that Jimmy Nelson and Clayton Kershaw will face off against one another on Friday night. That may or may not happen, what with Kevin Correa in all likelihood making the start in Atlanta tomorrow, pushing back the Dodgers starters, or at least Aaron and Ryu, a day, and perhaps Roberto Hernandez as well. Though we'll see. First things first. Ethier starting this afternoon in center field. Puig's looking tired and slumping a bit, so he's been given this Sunday a day of rest. Ethier fly to center in his first at-bat.
Wasn't Roberto Hernandez a pleasant surprise after his bumpy first inning, the way he went through the Brewers in 65 pitches to throw 6 innings and did very well. It was actually, after being pinch hit for by Justin Turner, had a chance to get the W for a little while.
Ethier to short. 1 out in the 4th. Saw Hernandez this morning in the lobby after checking out. I said, does it feel normal yet? He said, no. He's still getting used to meeting players.
Learning people's names.
Yeah. It's like going to school. You moved, and now you go into your class, and who are these kids? Oh, you've heard about them, maybe.
It'll take a couple of rotations, I think, because you have to go through your own program. Like, okay, who do I go meet with when I'm there 3 hours early to go through my strength and conditioning? Who's in charge of my cardio? You know, how do I teach the trainers to the type of massage and stretch that I like right before I go pitch?
Who am I going to play poker with?
Yeah.
Well, then and then on side of that, then when you get back to Los Angeles, then all your stuff is where you were before.
Right.
You don't have any. You just have a bag, and
you're in a hotel.
And then they say, here, you're covered for a hotel for a few days, and then you got to find your own place, and you're on your own, and then get your stuff from wherever you were before, bring it here, and. So,
it's hard to move anywhere without stuff.
Right.
You have to have stuff.
Some stuff. Clothes. And, you know, if you get traded while your prior team, you were on the road, it's that bag that you had there and whatever travel clothes you had, and you go to and you're going, okay, is there an off day where possibly I can go back to the city I was before to maybe go get some of my clothes or some extra stuff.
Anybody see my stuff?
Right.
Wow, your stuff is in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
It's a lot easier to bring your music collection nowadays because it's just all on your iPod or whatever.
That's true. You put
when
that
I broke in, you had to bring your 8-track collection.
Your 8. Yeah. When I broke in, we had 45s and 33 1/3.
Exactly.
The 2-2. Lined into center field for a base hit.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Sorry.
Music.
You got stuff.
Music delivery systems.
But you know, it's funny because there are little things that people just go overlook. I mean, for example, he's coming from the Phillies. Well, they wear red cleats,
right?
And then you come over to the Dodgers where you're wearing blue, and you're hoping that, and you're not only do you break them in, you're hoping that, you know, whatever company or shoe they have some there waiting for you, or they're able to get there in time. And so there's a lot of little things.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Ellis takes a strike.
If you have a family, are the kids in school yet? Is the family with you and at the city where you're located, or are they in their hometown and they're waiting to see where you're going to be?
And how do I get to the ballpark?
That too.
Mm-hmm.
On one hop. Ramirez need not panic. Ellis doesn't run especially well. Uribe goes to second. There's 2 out.
Well, the bobble just cost them the lead runner. That's about it. It might have really cost them a double play because the way AJ runs, if this ball's caught cleanly, they're going to get Uribe at second, and then they're going to easily get AJ. So the Dodgers get a runner in scoring position. Ramirez does not get an error, but the opportunity and the advantage lies with LA after the bobble.
Now let's see what Rojas can do with a bit of a gift. Rojas bunted for a base hit in his first at-bat, and he chops it slowly. Segura with a bare hand, no play. The veteran Uribe wasn't biting, so he arrived at third base and stayed put. First and third, 2 out, and Kershaw coming up.
Well, we know the competitor that Kershaw is. Here's an opportunity. I mean, in his mind, he's still thinking about that double we gave up to Nelson. As we see that high chopper that Rojas, he just pounds that ball into the ground because of that tail and that natural tail and sink on Nelson's fastball. Pounds that in, but now it kicked Kershaw up there. I know he's thinking that, hey, I'm going to help myself up. I'm going to get back at this pitcher after he just got a double off me.
Kershaw, good hitting pitcher. 7 hits on the year. Swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
There was a nice, healthy full cut from Clayton. Pulled off a little bit. That tailing action, he should try and work the ball back up the middle.
Kershaw 7 singles this year, 1 RBI. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kershaw's been struck out 15 times and walked twice.
Nelson throws in one of those sliders, and it happens to break, not just spin there. With first base open, Clay could roll over one to right field very easily. As you know, he's starting early with that mid-90s fastball coming at him. He happens to throw him that off-speed slider around 86. Might catch that hole on the right side.
25-year-old Jimmy Nelson. Dodgers with runners at the corners. Now 3-1. Nelson up to 51 pitches.
I'm thinking about taking right here if I'm Clayton, because you're going to get the same pitch 3-1 as you get 3-2. You have an erratic control. D. Gordon has put a couple of good at bats hitting behind you. Oh.
Rob Drake, the home plate umpire.
Well, if it's a strike, it barely catches the top. Yeah.
So Rojas will get a head start from first. Runners at the corners with 2 out. And Kershaw fouls it back.
Good job by Clayton staying alive on that pitch. And I know for Clayton especially, he's thinking, well, I know I got to protect the plate, but also I've just seen him be erratic. I can possibly work a walk off of him.
Good job.
So the bases are loaded for D. Gordon.
That botched double play ball by Ramirez that was not an error has turned into a real big situation for the Dodgers and the Brewers.
That's Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach. Well, D. Gordon is really the guy the Dodgers want up now. Why? He's hitting .341 this year with runners in scoring position. That's the second highest average in the National League.
And it's the third time and around the order, and he has seen them, and he's really zoned in on his release point and the movement on his fastball.
The other thing too is that, I like this matchup coming into this game with D. Gordon, because D. Gordon is one of the better hitting fastball guys on this Dodger club, and he's going to get a lot of those with Nelson on the hill.
Well, the Dodgers this year hitting a paltry .171 with the bases loaded. With a chance to take the lead. As Nelson misses high.
Nelson's sights are a little erratic right now, and the pitch that he will default to is the fastball away to a left-handed hitter, and that's right into D. Gordon's sweet spot.
Uribe, Rojas, and Kershaw the runners, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to D. Gordon.
D so comfortable now hitting with 2 strikes. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't seriously keyhole him on this pitch. It's got to be exactly where D wants it.
On 2-0. And a 1-1 tie, top of the 4th. Two balls and 1 strike to D. Gordon.
That's exactly what D. Gordon's mindset was there. I mean, that was a good pitcher's pitch. And that was the ball tailing down and away. Tough to really square that one up and drive. That's one that you usually, if you swung at, would pound into the ground.
Gordon 2 for 16 on the road trip. To short. Segura bobbles and then throws out Kershaw at second. Couple of hits. Dodgers lead 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Kershaw and the Brewers are tied at 1. The end of the summer is just around the corner. Time for the kids to go back to school. Bring the family to Dodger Stadium next Sunday at 1:10. Brewers will be in town. And the first 15,000 kids 14 and under in attendance receive their very own Dodger lunchbox. Compliments of Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So Kershaw and the Brewers are tied at 1. Greinke lost his 2nd straight last night. 4 runs and 8 hits in 6 innings. Of course, he spent a year and a half up here in Milwaukee. So Kershaw to this point has struck out 1. He has walked 1. If Kershaw goes 6 innings today, and you like his chances, and gives up no more than 4 earned runs, you like his chances. It means his ERA will be under 2 over his last 100 starts, dating back 3 years. July 7th, 2011, 100 starts with an ERA of under 2.
The statisticians must love Clayton Kershaw, the guys that just grind the numbers and just get to turn to his page and see what's the all-time best. Well, we'll just go to Clayton's page.
He's low-hanging fruit. Braun with a base hit to lead off the 4th. He's 2 for 2.
Braun's 2 for 2 and seen 3 pitches. Attack, attack, attack. This is a little high slider that Clayton leaves up a little bit. Doesn't hit it a hole very hard. You can see Clayton's upset with himself on the location. Ball wasn't hit hard, but it was hit in the right spot. please.
So a leadoff hit for the Brewers in the fourth. Thomas Ramirez, an 11-game hitting streak. He's 22 for his last 44. When you're hot, you're hot. He came off the disabled list on the 4th of June, and since then, hitting .329. Takes a healthy cut, comes up empty.
A little different situation for Clayton here with Ryan Braun on first. Ryan's capable of stealing a base, but he's not like Gomez, who has been on and distracting. Just give him a general solid move and concentrate on the hitter.
Ramirez's 16th big league season. He takes a big league curve for a strike, 0-2.
Yeah, and you want to concentrate on a hitter like Ramirez. I mean, we already saw that just big swing he took on the first pitch. He didn't like that curveball there. Thought if the ball was inside, but
on 0-2. Aramis Ramirez came up with the Pirates in 1998, and in his 16 years a .285 career batting average, and has played in the Midwest exclusively with the Pirates, the Cubs, and now in his 3rd year with the Brewers. Signed as a non-drafted free agent in 1994, 20 years ago. Through the wickets to the backstop, and Braun goes to second.
It'll probably be scored a wild pitch, but A.J. Ellis will tell you that he should have had this. He did not get the tailgate down low enough, and the glove didn't get on the ground. You could see the 5-hole in hockey. He went right through. And that is the most embarrassing ball that gets by a catcher, one that gets between their legs.
So now it's 1-2, and Brewers with a runner in scoring position, and Ramirez has 56 RBIs. In the dirt now, throw down to third base, and there is Braun at third. Well, this hasn't been pretty in the bottom of the fourth, has it?
What a great read by Ryan Braun. The second it was in the dirt, he just takes off, and he gets that jump. And that was pretty close over there at third base. It really was. And I think that's why I'm wondering if they did get Braun, if they did tag him on the backside before that foot gets in.
Well, we're going to have another look-see.
This would be a huge call if it's reversed. A man on third and no out compared to nobody on 1 out. Oh, he is out.
Yeah.
He is going to be out. About 6 inches.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
No, the heel of Braun as he slides. He slid early. He's ducking, so he's losing speed, and he sticks in the ground long enough for Uribe to get him on the backside before that foot gets in.
Yeah, that's huge.
Oh, yeah,
he's out. That's a huge play.
You can see the impact, too.
Especially with Ramirez. I know you have 2 strikes on Ramirez, but Ramirez is one of the clutch hitters in baseball, and that's huge.
Well, they've just shown the replay on the big scoreboard in center field, and
you don't hear the crowd. No. The crowd's going, I think they got him.
And you know, this all originated with the high slider that Ryan Braun hit off of Clayton Kershaw, and Clayton was angry with himself. And then the next 2 sliders that get Braun to third as of right now were in the dirt, because Clayton hung that one and said, I'm not making that mistake again. He accentuated keeping the ball down the next few pitches, and this play is what the result was, but it looks like the Dodgers are going to get out.
Well, the folks back in New York were watching replays till 4 o'clock this morning with that Angel game that went 19 innings. Joe West is there, the crew chief. Marty Foster, third base umpire, made the call, and the answer is you're out. There are about 3 fans out of 40,000 who are booing. Well,
It's growing.
not many more than that.
I think they're kind of just booing. I think just out of spite, going, "Oh, okay, yeah."
You got to lock right back in here. You got a hot hitter at the plate.
2 balls, 2 strikes. There's more English on that one than the Queen. Gonzalez to Kershaw, 2 out.
Well, Clayton understanding about Ramirez and how well he's swinging the bat went to the curveball again. How many guys this year have we seen Clayton throw 2 curveballs to in the same at bat?
So now 2 out and nobody on. So the Braun hit a wild pitch, a second wild pitch, but Ellis is able to throw out Braun at third. And now 2 out, nobody on. Chris Davis takes a strike and it's 0-1. And we learned last night Chris Davis's dad coached Nomar in a traveling team in high school.
Yes, it was right after my freshman year in high school. We had a travel. Like Mickey Mantle was the league, and we ended up going and winning the Mickey Mantle World Series all the way in Waterbury, Connecticut. And he was the coach of that team. There was also a Brewer, Mark Newfield, was on that team as well.
Down goes Davis. Second strikeout of the game for Kershaw. And we're all even as we head to the 5th with Crawford, Gonzalez, and Kemp coming up. Just second on a wild pitch. And as the ball kicked off to the right of A.J. Ellis. Ellis quick to jump on it, throw to third base. Snap tag by Juan Uribe, and a replay showed that indeed Braun was out. And we begin the 5th. 1 run, 5 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 3 hits for the Brewers. And Carl Crawford has hit the ball right on the schnoz twice today. Line to short in his first at bat, and Segura made a leaping catch to rob him of a base hit. And then Crawford with a single to right, and perhaps signs that a season-long slump could be coming to an end. It's been a frustrating year for Carl Crawford. With Gonzalez on deck and Kemp to follow. Nelson, first pitch, grounded to short, and Segura throws him out. Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Gonzalez with a sacrifice fly in his last at bat. Now he has 78 runs batted in. He is tied with Giancarlo Stanton for the National League lead. Although Gonzalez is nearly 30 points below his career batting average. One ball, no strikes. And we discussed in the open of the broadcast, Nomar, the reasons for Gonzalez's turnaround of late.
Yeah, it just seems like he's just so much more confident in his timing at home plate. Even noticing just the way he even took that pitch, for example. Just looks like he's able to see the ball, recognize the pitch right out of the pitcher's hands, and the ball is up and away. He's able to get the barrel on top and catch up to them. He had a nice double in the first game of this series the other way.
A long fly ball the other way, and Davis in foul territory runs out of room. Two and one. Oral, Nomar will not be with us next weekend. He's got bigger fish to fry.
We should congratulate him on the fantastic accomplishment of being named to the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame. It's quite an honor.
And the incoming class includes?
The incoming class is absolutely amazing. It rivals the Hall of Fame class that went into the Baseball Hall of Fame this year. He's going in with Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez, of course Nomar Garciaparra,
and our old friend Joe Castiglione, the longtime voice of the Red Sox. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm both humbled and honored for sure,
and deserving.
Thank you. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see some old friends and family be out there. It should be a fun day.
A return to the Fens. Gonzalez on 2-1 with one out in the fifth, takes high and away, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
Do they have special Red Sox blazers or anything?
They do, yes.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, yep. They have a Red Sox blazer, and you have a nice luncheon, and then you get honored before the game.
Drilled into the right field corner, and boy, Gonzalez is hot. Adrian Gonzalez is on his way to second base with his 30th double of the year.
Well, the gentleman sitting next to us, Charlie, who's had over 50 doubles twice, should talk about this one.
Well, he's the only one of us who can hit.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, I really like the way Gonzalez is swinging the bat, the way he's getting the barrel out there on fastballs. That missed its spot, but it was in, and he's able to just throw the barrel and pull that ball. And he did the same thing. His timing with his leg kick has been spot on. He had that when he hit that second deck home run in yesterday's game.
And he's a .400 hitter lifetime in Milwaukee. There's no fluke. Kemp takes underneath, 1 ball, no strikes. Kemp has been really solid since the All-Star break. And he just got more solid. Gonzalez rounding third. Throw to the plate, cut off. Throw is not in time. So Kemp with an RBI single, his second hit of the game. Gonzalez comes in to score, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead.
That was a big hit right there by Matt Kemp. Big clutch hit. Talked about he's been swinging the bat well. I mean, that one he gets off the end of the bat just a little bit, but at the same time, what allows that is he's staying through the ball, not coming off of the ball, and staying through the ball enough to get enough barrel on that. And I think it also helped the fact that he didn't square that ball up as well, because if he hit that harder, you got a Gonzalez on second base, and it would have given the left fielder Chris Davis the chance to throw him out at home plate.
And let's not forget, in his last at bat, Kemp smoked one and was robbed of a base hit by Ricky Weeks.
Yeah, and that would have knocked in a couple as well.
Broke another bat there too. That's 2 today. We might have to send some bats to Atlanta for him.
But you don't mind when they go down like that.
Ethier 0 for 2. Kemp leads from first. The Dodgers their first lead of the game.
The games against the Angels kind of smelled like playoff games. The game one here until the 7th kind of felt like a playoff game. This game here with Kershaw on the mound and the way the official review went last inning and out, it just feels that we're getting to that time of year.
And a sold out Miller Park.
And I'll tell you, you got to give the Brewers just a lot of credit watching in this series, just watching them. They're not intimidated by anybody. Any team that comes in, they're not intimidated that Clayton Kershaw's on the hill. I mean, Renicky has got them in the right mindset. Even talking to some of the Brewers over the course of this series, they were talking about just the Cardinals. Like, yeah, we're not scared of them. We believe we should be at the top of this division.
Nor should they be scared. The Dodgers have the best record in the National League at 66 and 52. The Brewers are 65 and 52. So the winner of today's game will leave town. The Brewers go to Chicago. The Dodgers head to Atlanta with the best record in the National League, and the Brewers with a 2.5 game lead on the Pirates. The Cardinals beginning to take on some water, and Ethier lines up base hit into left field. The Dodgers have first and second in 1 man out.
Well, the Brewers have built an inning for the Dodgers and they couldn't capitalize. Now the Dodgers building the inning for themselves and have already capitalized with one, but now have a chance from a slumping Juan Uribe to really put a dent in the scoreboard.
So here's Uribe 1 for 2. He singled to center in his last at bat. Get a sense that the Brewer bullpen may be going to work soon. Uribe 6 home runs, 35 runs batted in. With 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. As you see, Nelson has already thrown 70 pitches. Kershaw through 4 has thrown 46. And Uribe fouls it back.
One of those rare sliders that got Juan off balance. He was expecting that to be a fastball tailing in. That was the approach of the swing, and then it broke the other way, and 9 mile an hour off got him a little bit out front.
Yeah, he was kind of opening up a little bit.
He was cheating a little bit.
He was cheating just a little bit, opening up that front, looking for that tailing fastball.
On 0-2, Uribe takes high. Crawford began the inning, first pitch grounding to short. Gonzalez lined a double to right. Kemp would single him home, and Ethier with a single to left. You see Kemp leading off second base. Ethier is off first. Outfield straight away for Juan Uribe. Foul territory, not going to reach it. Just wasn't high enough for Reynolds to get a good shot at it.
This isn't an emergency swing. This is a swing where he was guessing again and cheating, and he's starting the swing, and he's like, "Oh my God, that's in a place I can't hit it at all. Right. I'm just going to fight it off."
And you can't stop it. He couldn't stop himself.
Stop it. Right. No, he was committed to this is going to be a strike. I'm going to commit the swinging, and no, it wasn't.
So the Dodgers with a lead look at attack on some more here in the 5th. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Nelson and Lucroy finally realizing that Uribe was in swing mode. They were going to go with the bounce breaking ball. Just a ball right out of Nelson's hands that it was an easy take for Juan.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. To short. Looks like a tailor-made double play. And that's what it is. But the Dodgers tack on a run. A Kemp RBI single, plating Adrian Gonzalez at the halfway mark. After 4.5, Kershaw and the Dodgers have a 2-1 lead.
Angeles Dodgers have a 2-1 lead at the halfway point in this game as we make our way to the bottom of the 5th inning. Naturally, Carl Crawford back in left field, defending left field for the Dodgers. And he was a bit of a proud papa yesterday, and I'm not even talking about his own children. What a great story about Carl Crawford. He is sponsoring the Jackie Robinson West Little League team. It's a team from the south side of Chicago. Illinois beat Indiana yesterday in the Great Lakes Regional Final, and they are advancing to the Little League World Series. Now, Crawford reached out to their coach last year. He said he saw the team. It reminded him of his Little League team growing up in Houston. He's providing financial support for the team, and Nomar Garcia-Parra will see the team at the Little League World Series, guys.
Ricky Weeks leads off for the Brewers and bloops one down the right field line. It's a fair ball, and Weeks will get himself a bloop double to begin the bottom half of the 5th.
Well, Clayton has dealt with some early inning traffic throughout this game and has pitched very well to keep the Brewers to 1 run. This is another inning where they're going to have to fight through some traffic. Weeks not realizing where that ball was even at, but it was in a very nice place for him.
Man, and that stinks because you make a good pitch, get in on his hands, and it ends up finding some dirt. Not only that, it ends up being a double. It's one thing to give up that, okay, make a good pitch and it's a base hit and get that next ground ball and try to get that double play, but you have a leadoff double.
Mark Reynolds. Kershaw now has to protect a 2-1 lead after the leadoff bloop double for Weeks. His 14th two-base hit of the year. Reynolds strikes out about 200 times a year.
Like if there's a guy you want up at the plate after a leadoff double, Mark Reynolds is one of them because of the high strikeouts, and also he's not really thinking about going the other way. At any time in his swing, he's trying to just pull it and hit it as far as he can.
There's a strike, 1-1. In the 4th inning, Braun began it with a single into center, and he was at second base on a wild pitch. Kershaw was able to get out of the issue with Braun trying to go to third base on a wild pitch, so he was able to avoid a runner at second, nobody out first time. Slowly hit to Gordon. Weeks is able to go to third. Reynolds is retired, 1 out. Now this will be interesting to see whether or not Mattingly opts to bring the infield in.
Looks like here they come.
As you see in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, only left field is in sunlight. Segura bounced to second base in his first at-bat. A .236 hitter. One ball and no strikes to Gene Segura. Kershaw struck out only 2 today and has walked 1.
No action in the Brewer bullpen. It looks like Nelson will hit for himself no matter what happens here. The Dodgers electing to face Segura and Nelson.
Squeezes on, and the Dodgers let it roll foul. We saw a safety squeeze the other night. This was of the suicidal variety.
A little easier to do against a left-handed pitcher with your no sight line on the runner. Clayton Kershaw's expertise at striking people out and preventing runs with his 1.82 ERA. Ron Renicky electing to go with the squeeze.
Well, after Gomez began the game with a walk, he immediately stole second. So Renicky's playing small ball all the way against Kershaw.
And you got to be aware if they would even try it back to back.
They are. It's butted in the air, and Kershaw makes a diving play, and now a double play. Clayton Edward Kershaw. All he does is everything. Forget about it. There's more where it came from. Back-to-back suicide squeeze attempts. Kershaw, A, comes in to make the diving stab, and B, throws back to third for the double play. He's unbelievable. This is a guy, and we've said it before just on his pitching prowess, the no-hitter this year. He is a once-in-a-generation player and pitcher.
Oh, just a tremendous play. I mean, just bouncing off. You saw the attempt on the one right before. And then they try to do it again because they know how good he is on the mound. And that was just sheer determination on his part. He says, you know, recognizing that ball's in the air, and he's like, I am not allowing this run to score.
And if it kicks out of his glove or he does not reach it, it is a run. Instead, it's an inning-ending double play. And we talked about it yesterday, and we're going to bring back this poor old dead horse. Whether he wants to come back or not, we're going to talk about it. And I know how hitters generally feel about pitchers infringing on the MVP territory. But when you see a play like this, and you see the numbers that Kershaw has put up, which are intergalactic to begin with, and then the intangibles that he brings to a team, and the injuries to McCutchen, to Goldschmidt, to Tulowitzki, why not? Ellis grounds to short. I know I'm not going to change your mind no more.
I think it's going to be a tough sell this year. And I'm on Clayton's side, but I think it's going to be a tough sell just because he was on the DL also. He's not even going to get a full complement of starts as a healthy full-year starting pitcher.
Right.
And even when a starting pitcher does that, the last one to do that was Justin Verlander and win the MVP.
But all the more
I understand where you are.
All the more impressive that he still is among the league leaders in wins, right. ERA, every statistical category, minus 5 games.
Well, I can definitely say it's not a bad argument. That's for sure. I mean,
and it still might turn out to be the result.
Right. But I'll tell you, I mean, he's definitely, I mean, he's fun to watch. Like I said, I mean, for me, the best one I've ever seen is Pedro Martinez. I've seen live, and I keep saying Clayton Kershaw is definitely creeping up as I'm watching him on that.
More games you see. When you finally get to his number of starts that you saw Pedro,
right.
And you see Clayton, it might pass him.
Exactly.
2 out, nobody on, and here's this Kershaw fella. The starting pitchers to win the MVP since '56. Our very own Don Newcomb, 27-7 with the '56 Dodgers. Koufax in '63 was 25-5. Gibson 22-9 with St. Louis. Denny McClain 31-6 with the Tigers. Vida Blue 24-8 with the A's. Roger Clemens, and of course Justin Verlander. Pretty good company. Try Jack. Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo at Jack in the Box, with fries and a drink while it lasts. Just a beautiful day in Milwaukee. It has been a drop-dead gorgeous weekend. All weekend long here. 73 degrees it was on Friday night. 72 on Saturday night. 77 this afternoon. And Clayton Kershaw. Just when you think you've seen everything. Well, today got off to a slow start. Lead-off walk. They score a run against him. All that did was make him cranky.
I just was wondering how many times you see the pitcher with the uniform that dirty that Clayton Kershaw has right now. That's awesome.
He leads the league in needing bleach after a game. He's something. Now a pinch hitter for Jimmy Nelson is going to be Gerardo Parra. So Nelson, babyface Nelson, does a nice job. 6 innings, 2 runs and 8 hits. Parra takes high and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Parra is a pinch hitter this year, is 3 out of 11. Takes high. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. Parra leading off in the bottom of the 6th. Dodgers 2 runs and 8 hits. The Brewers 1 run and 4 base hits. And Kershaw falls behind 3-0. Gomez and Lucroy to follow. Three balls and 1 strike. Quite a day at the office for Kershaw, who has struck out 2, walked 1, and the 3-1 to Parra. Hopped up. Adrian Gonzalez has it. Watching A.J. Ellis, he had no idea from behind the plate where that ball was going. He had his outstretched arm saying, I'm sure it's up there somewhere. And he's still talking with home plate umpire Rob Drake. Did you see it?
Oh, there are some support cables up there that stretch across the roof, and this got very close to one of them. It was way up there.
Oh boy, it's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, and I think afterwards you saw Adrian Gonzalez. I wonder if they were asking the umpire, like, okay, if it hits one of those, how is that played? Is it?
Up there somewhere. Then you throw the lights in. It may be a beautiful day for the fans, but not necessarily the defenders. And it's 0-2.
Carlos Gomez working on his base hit swing.
A little contact, huh?
This is going to be a 2-strike approach here with an 0-2 count, I think. He looks like he's gearing down.
Foul ball.
Wow. He is an aggressive, fun player to watch. It's almost like a little Yasiel Puig in him. I mean, look at him. He's must-watch TV also. This is an 0-2 pitch, and he is almost falling down. Got that good opposite field approach.
Just trying to make contact.
Whatever he had for breakfast, I want some of it.
I hope he brought enough for the whole class. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gomez came up with the Mets. He would go to the Twins in a deal that would send Johan Santana to New York. He would come to Milwaukee in the deal that sent J.J. Hardy away.
You just admire the ability of somebody that can have that much energy and that much aggression and then take the next 2 pitches like he knows what's going on. So this is not reckless abandon. This is just aggressive confidence and ability.
He scored the only run of the game off Kershaw. The 2-2 on the way. Did he go around? Yep.
Got one close enough to the plate that he offered at it.
You came back with that good breaking ball, and there was that aggression. You know, as you mentioned, he took the other ones, and I think he was thinking, okay, there's no way he's going to go down there again. He's going to be trying to pump one by me, and he was ready for it, and he got him out there.
So 2 out and nobody on. And Lucroy 0 for 2 today. Tom Gorzolani is warming up in the Milwaukee bullpen. So the Dodgers will see him beginning with Gordon in the 7th. First 3 batters in Mattingly's lineup today: Gordon, Crawford, and Gonzalez, left-handers. And they're the ones who will be batting in the 7th. Kershaw falls behind 3-0 with 2 out in the 6th inning. Kershaw looking for his 11th consecutive win. Pitcher of the month in June and July. Delivers a strike, 3-1. Why not August? Hasn't lost since May 28th. And delivers high to Lucroy with 2 out. Second walk of the game.
Second walk of the game for Clayton Kershaw is news, Charlie. This is a guy that only had 17 walks coming into this game in 18 starts. So this is his 19th start. He now has 19 walks. That's absolutely amazing after something negative just happened.
Gave up 2 walks to the Cardinals at the end of June. Gave up 3 walks to the Phillies at the end of May. And then he had that stinker in Arizona. 1 run after 1 2/3 innings. 7 runs, 6 hits. All that did was make him really angry. And now Ellis is going to go out and settle down his buddy. Braun is 2 for 2. Dodgers nursing a 2-1 lead with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. Braun, including this afternoon, is 9 for 25 against Kershaw. Lucroy 4 stolen bases. He's been caught 4 times. Not likely to be going anywhere with Braun at the plate. Grounded to third. Easy hop. Uribe an easy throw, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. We'll go to the 7th. Dodgers 2 and the Brewers 1. 2-1 lead. Time to look ahead on a Dodgers calendar brought to you by 76. Next stop on the trip, Atlanta. And it's supposed to be 95, rain, humid, and all that stuff. And tomorrow, in all likelihood, the newest Dodger, Kevin Correa, will make the start. Tuesday and Wednesday, 4 o'clock starts Pacific time, 9 o'clock Thursday morning. And the Dodgers fly home. And next weekend, the Brewers will be in town for a 3-game series. New pitcher for Milwaukee, Tom Gorzolani. He's 32. He's from outside Chicago. These days lives in Iowa. Came up with the Pirates in 2005. And then a year and a half in Chicago. A couple of years in Washington. And now in his second season with the Brewers. Came up as a starter.
He started the year on the 15-day disabled list, coming back from shoulder surgery in the offseason.
And now he has become, as they say, a crafty left-hander. There are no righty crafty pitchers.
No, they're out of the game. They've been released.
If you're a crafty righty, then the next question is paper or plastic. D. Gordon leading it off, 1 ball, no strikes in the 7th inning. 2-1 Dodgers. Gordon squares and takes it back. It's a strike.
I'd really like to see if the Dodgers can tack some runs on here. I know they're up just by 1, but we were talking about it, Oral. Mentioned about this lineup for the Brewers, how they are free swingers. They have guys who can all, up and down the line, hit up out of the ballpark. So that 1-run lead just doesn't feel comfortable going into those late innings.
They're a bloop and a blast type of offense. You get that. We saw that jam shot full swing by Ricky Weeks end up being a double. We've seen some balls kind of squeak in, and all of a sudden, throughout the whole lineup, they've got guys that can go deep.
Gordon 0 for 3, line to left, bounced to short twice. And he fouls it off the other way, and the count holds at 1-2.
6 guys in the Brewers lineup today have over double figures in home runs. And Davis, Reynolds, and Gomez all have 18, 19, and 19. Mr. Reynolds there at first.
So Gordon has been hitting it the other way today. Crawford on deck, Gonzalez to follow. Dodgers have out hit the Brewers 8-4. A little dink job, but Segura's there. Of course, the Dodgers, if you're just joining us and hadn't heard, Hanley Ramirez placed on the disabled list. Darwin Barney was brought up from AAA Albuquerque. And one of the things that Barney can bring, the assumption, of course, that Rojas is going to be the starting shortstop for the foreseeable future, might be able to give D. Gordon a day here and a day there. Defensively, they won't lose a thing. Barney, a Gold Glove winner in 2012. There's a strike. Well, this Sunday's been a day of rest for Yasiel Puig. This is the 119th game of the season for the Dodgers. And welcome to the dog days of August.
And we're going to get a dose of that when we get to Atlanta with the humidity and the weather they're having. We have caught a break in St. Louis. We caught a break on the weather. Here in Milwaukee, it's been gorgeous. August usually is combined with the fatigue from those 119 games and then the heat. in the anticipation of the pennant race in September.
And that's why your body really feels. I think your body's starting to go through that transition as you feel the fatigue, and then it gets to a point where then it's just adrenaline that's riding the rest of the way throughout the season. And that's where you hope you're in the pennant race to add that extra adrenaline to carry it through. And a nice base hit there by Carl Crawford going back up the middle.
Last couple of games we were talking about how Crawford is beginning to hit the ball more solidly, and today 2 for 4, and he was robbed of a hit. Dodgers need him to get going. Well, the Dodgers should send themselves send Kansas City a fruit plate. The Royals are beating up on the Giants again today, 7-1. Hudson got knocked out in the 4th. The Tigers have a 5-4 lead in Toronto in the top half of the 9th. Another toss to first base, and it gets past the first baseman, knocks off the umpire. Throw goes into left field. Crawford is on his way to third, and he's going to make it.
Yes, he was going to be safe anyway if they get him out at third, if they happen to throw him out at third, because as he was going to third, Segura, the shortstop, interfered with him, and the umpires recognized and were all over it.
He's definitely obstruction.
But when it goes off the umpire, the ball is in play.
Yes.
Right.
Umpire is part of the playing field, but right here, Nomar, notice this right there, that contact. Obstruction immediately was called. You continue to advance towards the base you were headed. If you are then tagged out, you are awarded the base. But you must continue. If you turn around and go back.
2 errors on the play. The infield is in, and Gonzalez is the hitter. It began with the throwing error by the pitcher, Gorzolani, and then the throwing error by Reynolds. And the Dodgers have a big gift and an opportunity to pad their 2-1 lead. And that's what they're going to do. A fly ball to center field and deep and back at the wall, and it's off the wall and in play. Crawford will score. Sliding into second base is Gonzalez, and the Dodgers take a 3-1 lead. Adrian Gonzalez with his second double of the game, his second RBI of the game.
We were talking about Adrian Gonzalez and his swing before the game, and it's also what he's got the power back, driving it the other way, and this ball just had some carry on it and just kept going. And watch the effort by Gomez. Oh, what a tremendous effort out there in center field. Right here, Gonzalez was looking for that pitch that he could just handle, get it up in the air, but came with it was that extra carry on the ball and gets an RBI double.
2 RBIs for Gonzalez today. The Dodgers lead 3-1, and the Brewers make a pitching change.
That ringing double off the left center fence. Carlos Gonzalez with an amazing effort. And now with the pitching change by the Brewers, the Dodgers are up 3-1.
And Brandon Kintzler making his 44th appearance of the year. An ERA of 3 2/3. Opponents are hitting just a shade over 300 against him. And the Dodgers with a 3-1 lead. Gonzalez has had quite a day. 2 doubles, a sac fly. Crawford with 2 hits and a run scored. And here's Kemp, who's got a couple of hits. One ball, no strikes to Matt Kemp, who's lifted his average to 285 with his 2 singles today. Ethier is on deck. Gonzalez a short lead. Kemp takes inside. Ethier on deck and Uribe to follow. Kintzler out of Las Vegas. 5'10", about 190. Well, Kemp now at 3-0. It's been a long, strange trip to the major leagues for Brandon Kintzler. Played in the Independent League in 2007 and 2008 in that baseball hotbed of Winnipeg. Then he moved south of the border to St. Paul. And then by 2009, signed a minor league deal with the Brewers. Well, they had to shift on for Kemp, and it paid off. 2 out. And it'll bring up Andre Ethier. Ethier 1 for 3.
Andre has squeaked out that 1 hit here today, but it'll make him feel an awful lot better to get a hit here and an RBI, and it'll make the Dodgers feel a lot more comfortable.
3 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Brewers. Both of them here in the 7th inning on 1 play. With 1 out, Crawford singled into center. And then on a pickoff attempt by Gorzolani, he threw wild. It deflected off the first base umpire, John Tompane, and he's saying, well, gee, thanks. And then Crawford goes to second base. And a throwing error there allows him to go to third base. He would then come home on the Gonzalez double, and the Dodgers lead by 2. Last couple of games, Crawford's beginning to hit the ball much more solidly.
When the ball hit the umpire, you thought bad break for the Dodgers, but that actually, because it stayed close to Mark Reynolds, gave him an opportunity to throw the ball away again.
All charity happily accepted. Grounded to the right side, and that is Weeks throwing out Ethier, and that ends the inning. Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Brewers. 7th inning stretch, and the Dodgers lead by 2. It's 3-1. Kershaw and the Dodgers with a 3-1 lead. Kershaw, if he can seal the deal, will extend his winning streak to 11. He has struck out 3. He has walked 2 and has made a eye-popping defensive play on a suicide squeeze that turned into a double play. That was the play of the game. Might have been the play of the week. With a runner at third base, Ricky Weeks, and 1 out in the 6th inning. Weeks had doubled. Went to third on an infield out. Segura, the batter, attempted a suicide squeeze. Fouled it off. Attempted a second suicide squeeze. Back-to-back pitches. And it was popped into the air. And Kershaw made a diving catch, perhaps 6 feet in front of home plate. Suicide squeeze. Well, Weeks was dead to rights. He was doubled up at third base after the diving play by Kershaw. And that was a key play in the game, a real momentum turner. In a game that was knotted at 1 until the top of the 5th when the Dodgers scored 1. And here's the play of the game. Clayton Kershaw.
Back-to-back pitches. The Brewers attempted the squeeze play, and Clayton turned it into a twin killing on the second try.
A twin killing on a suicide. 1 out. Ramirez down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Kershaw. 1st out of the 7th.
Makes it a little more comfortable with a 2-run lead against this Brewer lineup with all these home run hitters, and the ballpark that gives up home runs not only because of the power of their lineup but the way the ball carries here.
But as free swingers, they tend to strike out a fair amount.
They do, and Clayton really hasn't had the strikeout pitch working today. It has been a battle. It feels like a game to me where he's already given up 2 to 4 runs, and it feels like he's pitched in a lot of traffic. They've gotten a lot of leadoff hitters on. They've had some wild pitches that have advanced runners, but he's done a great job just eliminating the damage.
A 1-out single to left for Chris Davis in the bottom of the 7th.
He's really only had just 1 clean inning, and that was in the 2nd. And I think that's why it just doesn't feel like a typical Kershaw outing, because you're so used to just 3 up and 3 down, a nice little rhythm, and Clayton has not had that rhythm today. He's really had to battle within himself and battle this lineup.
And having said all that, he's given up 5 hits.
Yep. 5 hits and 2 walks, which is news. The 2 walks, 76 pitches. You think, okay, because we've been talking about all the work and the traffic. Well, it's because these guys make it happen in a hurry at the plate.
Ricky Weeks, a double and 2 at-bats, takes inside. Miller Park, built in 2001, and today the 10th sellout of the season. 43,612. Brewers average about 33,000 a game. They had 40,000 last night, 37,000 on Friday night. Dodgers lead the major leagues in home attendance, lead the National League in road attendance. They've been packing them in here in Milwaukee.
You bring the best record in the National League into the ballpark. You got Yasiel Puig on your team, an all-star at second base, and D. Gordon, National League leader in RBIs now, and Adrian Gonzalez at first, and Clayton Kershaw on the mound. You get a sellout.
And the first place Brewers in the Central Division. Gordon running out of room.
So you don't think it has anything to do with Chorizo bobblehead too?
Well, it's a very nice promotion today. You see the C.
Yep, the cerveceros there on the front of the Brewers jerseys, because today is they're in celebration of Latino players who have been influential in the sport. They have the C. There's chorizo there. They have a pregame ceremony where they honor members of the Latino community for their contributions to the game. So this is the 9th annual day.
Weeks is down on strikes. What we're talking about, they're free swingers, and so they're going to hit a lot of home runs, and these guys strike out a lot. Weeks is down, second strikeout of the inning, and the 5th of the game for Kershaw.
Comes on the old number 2. 22 throws the deuce, and it's good enough for number 5 in the K column.
Now Mark Reynolds. Fly to left, bounce to second. Outside and high, 1 ball and no strikes. Reynolds, wherever he's been, has been an all or nothing proposition. Hit a lot of home runs, drive in some, and inevitably be among the league leaders in strikeouts. Two balls and no strikes. Davis has 3 stolen bases in 4 tries this year. Reynolds came up with the Diamondbacks in 2007 and led the National League in strikeouts 4 years in a row. Popped up. Ellis sheds the mask. And Kershaw is out of the 7th. No runs and a hit. Will go to the 8th. Uribe, A.J. Ellis, and Miguel Rojas coming up. Kershaw and the Dodgers 3-1. A 3-1 lead. And Zach Greinke, who has won 12 games with the Dodgers this year, on Wednesday night, August the 20th. You receive a Zach Greinke bobblehead. Compliments of Las Vegas. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So the Brewers down a couple of runs, need a new battery. And they've got one. New pitcher is Marco Estrada, making his 24th appearance of the year. Used to be a starter. And he's got a new catcher to throw to, Martin Maldonado. So Lucroy's day is done.
Actually, it's not. He actually moved over there to first base. Yeah.
Okay. Mark Reynolds' day is done, and that's going to be a double switch. Thank you, sir.
I'm here if you need me, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. Where'd he come in?
Uribe fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Well, we're talking about Lucroy and management's desire to have him at least think about first base a little more often. Lucroy's beginning to really master the art of catching, and we saw a terrific throwing arm last night, throwing out D. Gordon. Uribe swings and misses, 0-2. But again, to try to eliminate some of the wear and tear on the knees and bumps and bruises from behind the plate. Lucroy's such a good hitter. He's at first base at least now, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Estrada deals, and Uribe down on strikes. First out of the 8th inning. Ellis coming up, then Rojas, and I'll throw this question to y'all. Due up 4th in the inning, Clayton Kershaw. You bat him?
83 pitches. I think you let him go.
Ellis 0 for 3, fouls it back. It's 0-1. So does Mattingly, most importantly. There's nobody warming up in the bullpen.
His season high pitch count at San Diego was at home of 115. So you're looking at 32 to get to his season high. He could complete the game, possibly, the way the pitch counts are going against the Brewers. Also, between Clayton's efficiency and the Brewers' tendency to swing early in the count, he could easily complete this game.
That is well hit off the bat of A.J. Ellis. It is way back and gone! A home run! A.J. Ellis comes home to Wisconsin and cracks his first home run of the year and gives the Dodgers a 4-1 lead. No place like home, Toto.
Smiles all. Where are the bubbles? Where are the bubbles? Thank you. Looking for those.
He may want to hold off on the dance.
That's from Wisconsin. That's a Wisconsin dance.
Listen, I mean, it's his first home run of the year, so he's celebrating that.
Roll out the barrels.
That's what that dance looked like. I just wish the camera was the other way. I want to see if he had the overbite working.
Rojas fouls it back. I'm sure it felt better than it looked.
Well, definitely, he definitely puts a good swing on this ball. Gets on top over there, just throws the hands and drives it.
There's 2 reasons why AJ hasn't been to many foam parties: his power and his dancing ability.
Oh boy. Well, we just said in that last inning how we thought it was important to kind of get some insurance runs on the board. He did an excellent job in the 7th to get a run, and AJ picking him up.
Get a home run and get right back to work here. Let's take a look at who's coming up, how we're going to get him out.
0-2 to Rojas with a couple of infield hits today. So Estrada tagged with the home run by Ellis. And Rojas Ropes a foul ball. Not by much.
Rojas has been learning an awful lot from John Valentin Jr. and Mark McGwire. The hitting has started to come. He's squared up his stance, and this one just misses getting some good results from all that work.
Marco Estrada has pitched 120 innings this year, and that was the 28th home run he gave up. And Rojas has just hit himself a double down the left field line. Quite a day for Miguel Rojas. 3 for 4. On a day that Hanley Ramirez was placed on the disabled list. Darwin Barney brought up. Rojas has been playing an awful lot at shortstop lately, and now he's beginning to pick up a little bit offensively.
That ball was down in the zone, and you kind of see when he swung at that, he's let his whole body, his legs even went down there to help him get to that pitch, but he stayed on it and pulled it. He had a nice swing, the foul ball, the one before, but he had the quick hands working, and he had them working once again, and that one stayed fair for him.
And now here's Clayton Kershaw. He's now got a 4-1 lead to work with. And he lines it into left field for a base hit. And that's going to get Rojas in to score. Nice play in left by Davis, holding Kershaw just to a single. But for the Dodgers, it's their second run of the 8th, and they've got a 5-1 lead.
The big fella has reached base 3 times today. He's eliminated runs with his arm. He's eliminated runs with his glove. Hit by pitch, a walk, and now a base hit and an RBI. He is doing it all. What a pleasure to have on the team and a pleasure to watch.
Well, you think he's player of the game?
Yes, so far he's got to be the front runner.
So far? What?
I don't know.
Lined into the glove of Ramirez. Kershaw gets back.
He even knows how to run the bases. Freeze on the line drive.
2 out.
D. Gordon is hitting some hard luck today.
But all 5 times Gordon has been up, it's been to the left side of the field. Well, you're a tough judge so far.
Well, there's 2 innings to go. The Brewers, are. Well, I don't even want to talk about why.
What,
I got to say so far.
the comeback of Babe Ruth?
Oh.
Crawford hit. Estrada having a terrible time of it here in the 8th. And now Adrian Gonzalez. All in all, Gonzalez hasn't had a bad day either. Adrian 2 for 3, sac fly, run scored. Dodgers now 5 runs and 13 base hits. So Gonzalez with his 2 hits today, lifting his average to 269. His 2 RBIs gives him 79. One ball, 1 strike. Depending on what Giancarlo Stanton has done in the Marlins game today, Gonzalez at the moment is the National League leader with 79 runs batted in. 7th inning in Kansas City. The Royals lead the Giants 7-3, up and in. And Estrada has thrown 19 pitches He's given up a single, a double, a home run, and hit a batter.
Miami lost 7-2, and Stanton had 1 RBI.
Aha! The race is on as Gonzalez fouls it back.
Well, he has Stanton has 79.
And so does Gonzalez.
Johnny Cueto won his 14th in that game, so he's at the top of the heap also, where Kershaw will join him if this game is finished off in the right category.
2 on, 2 out. Gonzalez takes high and away, 3-2. So Kershaw will be off and running from second base. Crawford will be off and running from first base. Dodgers with a run in the 7th, 2 here in the 8th, now lead at 5-1. Outside and low, ball 4.
And Adrian, I don't think you even realized that was ball 4.
He wanted to drive somebody in. He didn't want it to be ball 4.
Crawford with sore ribs after being plunked.
Base hit here by Matt Kemp. You might see somebody get up in the Dodger bullpen for them to just get the blanket on Clayton Kershaw a little earlier. Save him for October dreams.
Kemp today is 2 for 4, was robbed of a base hit, and has knocked in a run. So the bases are loaded with 2 out. Going for the downs, it's 0-2. Should Kershaw complete the task today and complete game, it would be his 6th of the season and a career high. No balls, 2 strikes to Kemp. In the hole. Tough play. Throw to second. And they got it. Nice play by Segura. Weeks at the receiving end. Gonzalez forced out, but the Dodgers come up with a couple of runs. 3 hits and leave 2. 5-1. We go to the bottom of the 8th. So logically speaking, it's been a pretty near perfect day here in Milwaukee, and for Clayton Kershaw, while not perfect, pretty darn good. He's given up 1 run and 5 hits through 7. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, celebrating 12 years now. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Dodgers.com for details. Gene Segura will lead it off against Kershaw in the bottom half of the 8th. Segura is 0 for 2. Well, based on history, Kershaw and the Dodgers this afternoon are money in the bank. Segura takes a strike, and it's 0-1. And a line drive base hit. Segura with the leadoff hit in the 8th inning. Segura is 1 for 3. And Martin Maldonado coming up. His first at-bat of the day. Brewers took a 1-0 lead in the first. A walk and a stolen base by Gomez. He'd come around to score on a single by Braun. And then Kershaw was fed up after it. He has given up 1 run and 6 hits. And nothing. No runs at any rate since the first. Dodgers would tie it in the 3rd. Go ahead in the 5th. Score 1 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th. So it's 5-1. They've out hit the Brewers 13-6. That one is smacked foul. Well, Segura lashed a single to center, and Maldonado gets around on that one.
After the first game, I talked to Ron Renicky and I talked about Maldonado. He said this young man has a real good idea behind the plate. Every day he comes to him with a little finesse part of the game of baseball that he has picked up on, or he's learning something. And one of the reasons the Brewers are trying to maybe convince Lucroy to move to first is because of Maldonado's talent, because they really do have 2 everyday catchers in their minds now. And so they would love to figure out a way to get Lucroy to first base and keep him healthy because of the bat, and then Maldonado behind the plate has a very good feel for the pitching staff and is a good defender also.
In the dirt and blocked again by Ellis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martin Maldonado from Puerto Rico. Turns 28 next week. Came up with the Angels originally. Chopped foul.
He's gotten 21 starts behind the plate, and the team is 15-6 when he starts behind the plate. Maldonado. He's played in 37 games. So this is his 38th game. So they are starting to expose him to the big leagues, and he is finding his way.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball. Thank you and good night. 6th strikeout of the game for Kershaw. First out of the 8th.
Up the ladder. If you're going to swing at this one, you're going to have to really be strong and get the hands above the ball. And Maldonado doesn't get his hands above the ball. And what does that mean? Well, the barrel is always below your hands. So if you don't get your hands above the ball, you're going to swing and miss.
Better be strong and better be tall. Gomez 1 for 2, a walk and a stolen base, and takes a strike. It's 0-1.
We're going to see a nice little short approach here for Gomez again. Just one.
Punch and Judy he ate. He wouldn't know the definition of a banjo hitter. A ball, a strike, in and out at the bottom of the 8th. Into right center. Sprinting over is Ethier, who makes the catch. Kemp ran in front of him. Interesting flight pattern. There's 2 out.
Yeah, it looked like Ethier had that one. He was calling it early, but it also just kept drifting farther and farther to right field. And that's why you see Andre looked like he has a beat on it. Now it's even coming closer to Matt. So Matt just stayed with it and then ducked out of the way.
Two out, and Lucroy coming up. 0 for 2 and a walk. Ethier's Kershaw's 95th pitch. He has struck out 6. He's walked 2. Kershaw walking 2 is kind of like he's been wild today.
Yep, you're right about that, Charlie. He usually has been so locked in. You know, when he came back from the DL, he knew he was going to be under the watchful eye of a pitch count, and he really started to attack the strike zone in that very first game back from the DL because he wanted to go deep into the game. At that point, the Dodgers starting staff was at a point where it wasn't going deep into the game, and he knew that was a need, and he didn't want to come back and take 2 or 3 starts to ease into the season and get back to the 7th and 8th and 9th innings. So he attacked the strike zone that very first game, and he has never stopped. He just pounding, 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 and then with the addition of this slider, as good as it's been this year, it has really made him efficient.
Here's 2-1. Kershaw, including today, has struck out 163 and walked 19.
When most pitchers are trying to get a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, he's on
11 to 1.
He's on another planet. He's doing 3 times better than what would be considered good.
Mentioned early in the ball game, so if you're just joining us, these numbers are just mind-boggling. Kershaw leads the National League, 11 strikeouts per 9 innings, and has the lowest walk ratio of 1.19 per 9 innings. No pitcher in National League history has ever finished the season with the highest strikeout ratio and the lowest walk ratio in the same year. Only one pitcher in baseball history had ever done that, with the old Washington Senators only 101 years ago, the big train Walter Johnson. So the names that this kid is being compared with at the age of 26. Into center field and right at Ethier. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And if Kershaw can finish this game, it'll be his 6th career complete game. That would be a career high. 1 run, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Kenley Jansen is warming in the Dodger bullpen. And so with the Dodgers leading it 5-1 by all appearances, Kershaw will not get that career high 6th complete game, but he will get his 11th consecutive victory. Consolation prize, Johnny Olson.
Yeah, and another clue is that Clayton Kershaw doesn't have the towel wrapped around his left arm. So if he was going to be staying in there, the habit is to wrap the towel around the arm to keep it warm.
Kershaw began the game with an ERA of 1.82, gave up an earned run in the first inning, then nothing after that. He leaves the game with cash and parting gifts with a 1.78 ERA. So he is well on his way to this point to yet another ERA title.
And the other thing he's done is, when you talk about aces of a staff, obviously when you're going out there on every time you pitch, you expect that win, but it's also the Dodgers, first 2 games here in Milwaukee, lost the first 2, and you get your ace to come up there, and you want a top performance to hopefully avoid that sweep, and right now he's put him in that position.
Well, again, it's but August the 10th. A lot can happen between now and the end of the year. 8th year, down on strikes, first out of the 9th. Putting it on the table for argument's sake, discussion in a 5-1 game. If Kershaw wins the Cy Young, it would make it 4 years in a row in which he finished either first or second. Who else can say that in the history of the Cy Young Award? Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson, and Pedro Martinez. And so in the space of 2 minutes, Walter Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, and Randy Johnson.
And that's a generation of pitchers where there are 2 awards given every year, compared to when there was 1. But still an amazing accomplishment.
So are you saying he's good?
Oh, he's way good. We're past good.
Breaking news, this just in. 3 base swings and misses. Last year, Kershaw's ERA was a bloated high 183. Now it's 179.
Well, I said in the break, Charlie, and we all kind of bobbed our heads like it probably could be true. If he wins the ERA title and the Cy Young this year, he can pretty much punch his ticket to the Hall of Fame already.
At the age of 26. Turns 27 next March.
He'd have 3 Cy Youngs, a second place, 4 consecutive ERA titles. He's doing things that no one has ever done in the history of the game. And he's 26. If he pitches till he's just 35, another 9 years, it's uncanny what he's going to do.
So 1-out single in the 9th for Uribe. A.J. Ellis 1 for 4. It's been a happy homecoming for A.J. Hit a home run, his first of the year in his last at bat. Fouls it off to the right, and it's 0-1. Well, on top of his pitching prowess, how about his fielding prowess? Suicide squeeze. He doesn't get there. A run is in. Instead, an inning-ending double play.
No assumption there at all that A.J. Ellis will get it, Adrian Gonzalez will get it.
And A.J. Ellis The catch is made, and a beauty by Chris Davis. Ellis narrowly missing his second home run of the year, the second home run in as many at-bats.
As they're checking on Davis out there and saying he's okay, but watch this amazing effort and play here by Davis.
Great communication by Carlos Gomez. You could hear him with our microphone saying, jump, jump.
Right.
And got him right there.
Which is letting him know that he's not around. He's free to go over there and attack the ball. And
well, when you run on the warning track, Nomar, as you know, if you come onto the warning track at different angles, it's different amount of steps to the wall. Mm-hmm. And so when you've got your center fielder there telling you that you have room to jump, cleared the way for an outstanding play.
Davis getting the once over, and he'll be all right. But now there's 2 out in the 9th inning. And Miguel Rojas coming up. Rojas had a good day. Bunt base hit, an infield hit, and a double down the third base line, lifting his average to 224. And a foul back and out of play, 0-1.
A little easier for him now, Nomar, to start learning how to hit because he knows he's going to be in there every day, and the things that he's working on, he doesn't just get to do that sporadically.
Well, it allows him to possibly feel maybe when he makes a swing and he misses a ball, or if he fouls one off, to start going, okay, what did I do? Start recognizing, and then try hopefully make the adjustment in the middle of at bat or from at bat to at bat. It's very hard to do that, to get that feel when you're not playing every single day, when you might get an at bat once a game. You're going for defensive purposes, or you're going to get a spot start here.
So the 20-hour difference between game to game on playing every day compared to a 72-hour difference,
right, makes a difference, because also you get to see so many more pitches, and you're not trying to make your adjustments at batting practice where a guy's not throwing as hard, or you're not facing the breaking balls, whatever that might be. But now you have to do that in the middle of a game. So let's say you take a break ball, even it could be a take. It could be as little as a take, but then you recognize, I was out in front, I wasn't picking that ball up, I'm diving a little bit, I gotta stay back. You don't get that feeling at batting practice. Rarely are you diving or out in front.
And the other thing is, when he shows up for work every day, he doesn't have to look at the lineup card. He knows he's going to be in there.
And so then that's changing your mindset too, coming into the ballpark going, okay, I know I'm in there tomorrow. What did I do yesterday that I got to adjust to today, as compared to, okay, I'm not in there tomorrow.
But take BP, take my grounders, and watch.
And be ready. Yeah, and just be ready when they call my name.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 9th, and the Dodgers lead 5-1. He's had some good hacks today.
He sure looks a lot more comfortable.
He has taken some good. I really liked his bunt when he bunted that ball toward the first base line and got that, just like I said, just to show it, put it in other teams' minds that he will do that.
Well, we need Hanley back, and we need him back in a hurry, and hope he's healthy for this stretch run. But in the back of Miguel Rojas's mind, this opportunity with Hanley being a free agent at the end of the year, he's not only playing right now, he's playing for a possibility to put his name in the column of possible shortstop for next year.
3-2 with 2 out in the 9th. Right side, Lucroy makes the play, and that will end the inning. Last licks for the Brewers. Kenley Jansen's going to get some work. Dodgers lead at 5-1. his way to his 14th win of the year, which would tie him with Willie Peralta and Adam Wainwright for the National League lead. His ERA at the moment is 1.79. He leads in that category. Strikeouts, he's got some work to do. Strasburg leads with 186, and with Kershaw 6 today, that's 163, but he is well within line of another triple crown. Verlander, Peavy, Santana, and Johnson. Pretty good company, and Kershaw may do it all over again.
I think pretty soon all those guys are going to be glad to be in the company of Clayton Kershaw. He's going to be the bar center.
Another great day for Kershaw, assuming that Jansen can get the job done in the ninth, and he's been pretty darn good at doing it this year. 73 strikeouts, 13 walks in 47 innings. Not a save situation, but Kenley needs a bit of work, and so he's going to get it.
A little bit of work for Kenley, and news that Don Mattingly wants to stop this skid at 2. We are not going to play with getting anybody else any work out of the bullpen. We're going to go to our closer, even though the Dodgers are going to see the Brewers very soon. You expose a little bit of your hand by showing Kenley today, but the value of the W and getting it for Kershaw and the Dodgers more important.
Ryan Braun leading it off and taking a strike. Meanwhile, in Kansas City, the Royals have a 7-4 lead over the Giants. Royals are hitting in the bottom of the 8th. And if that score holds up, and this one does, the Dodgers will leave Milwaukee with a season-high 4.5 game lead on the Giants. And a 67-52 record, which would be the best in the National League. The winner of this game, these are the two teams with the best one-loss records, was going to leave town with the best record in the league. And right now the Dodgers with a big leg up. Pirates lost again. So the Brewers with a 2.5 game lead on Pittsburgh. Look like that's going to remain static. And down goes Braun, first out of the ninth. A 4-game series for the Dodgers beginning tomorrow in Atlanta. And by every indication, Kevin Correa, just acquired by the Dodgers last night. If he's not in Atlanta now, he'll be soon. Will get the start against Julio Teheran, Atlanta's best. 10-8, a 2.92 ERA.
Very rare do you as a team are going, okay, we're going to a new city. Oh, we got to meet our new teammate who's starting that day. They're going to do that twice, 2 series.
Ethier and Kemp. Kemp taking charge, 2 out. Were you with us when Greg Maddux arrived in Cincinnati?
Yes.
He was there awaiting everybody.
Right.
And what was fascinating about that day was in Cincinnati, getting off the plane, and the team goes to the left of the bus, and Cesar Astores, not so fast, Cesar. He'd be traded. Next day, it was an off day, we traveled in, and off in the left-hand corner of the Cincinnati clubhouse, visiting clubhouse, there was Maddux. And most of the young fellas in there had never met him before. So it was like the arrival of the King Tut exhibit. And they're kind of looking and gawking. And
yeah, there should have been a rope around his locker.
The wet velvet rope. That's exactly right. Chris Davis swings and misses 1-1. You're right. He didn't pitch that day, but he was the first one in the clubhouse. He had gotten there the day before. Davis is 1 for 3. 2 out. Bottom of the ninth. Dodgers 5-1 sitting pretty. Woo. 1-2. Dodgers 1 strike away from going to Atlanta with a win in their hip pocket. Instead, it's 2-2 to Chris Davis.
Some closers in this situation have tough outings. Kenley Jansen has come out here with a very serious face, and he's thrown 10 quality pitches.
And the 11th is his last. So the Dodgers improved their record to 67-52. Clayton Kershaw improves his record to 14-2. He has won 11 in a row. And it looks like the Dodgers are going to be leaving town with a 4.5 game lead on the Giants. San Francisco trailing 7-4. Royals hitting in the bottom of the 8th in Kansas City. Player of the game? Who else? The Lexus player of the game, Clayton Kershaw. Record now of 14-2, an ERA of 1.79. He struck out 6, walked 2, and made a game-changing play. Wonderful catch. Suicide squeeze, preventing a run for the Brewers, and then he drives in a run. So he's the player of the game. Now be sure to stay tuned for the Access Sportsnet presented by Hyundai. For Alana Rizzo, Oral Hershiser, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Charlie Stone saying good night and goodbye. We'll see you again tomorrow from Atlanta. Access Sportsnet coming up.